Welcome students to our quick video here on sample spaces for compound events. So sample spaces, guys, are what the answers, what all the answers could be. So we're looking at every possible answer or outcome that you could get by a compound, meaning more than one event. So you would only really want to know the sample spaces for small amounts. You wouldn't find the sample space for winning the lottery. There's just too many options. There are too many choices that would take too long. So this would be smaller things so that you can see what all the outcomes or what all the choices are. There's three ways I'm going to show you to help get those. Two of them are kind of tables, and then one of them is a tree diagram. So I have three examples for us to go over to help us with these. Okay, example 1, you're making a 1-scoop ice cream cone. You have 2 types of cones, plain or waffle, and 3 types of ice cream, vanilla, cookie dough, and mint chocolate chip. Now, to make things easier, I'm going to abbreviate some of these so I don't have to write them out so many times. And the question is, what are all the possible options for your ice cream? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little T-chart table. So I'm going to label the cones, because that's one option that I have, and then the other option is the flavors of ice cream that I have. So those are my two options when I'm choosing these. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with plain cone first, and I'm going to go through all my options. So if I have a plain cone, I could get that as vanilla. Or I could get my plain cone, and I could get that as cookie dough. I'm just going to make that CD for cookie dough. Or I could get my plain cone and I could get mint chocolate chip. Okay, now I could do a waffle cone. So I can do a waffle cone and get that with vanilla. I could do a waffle cone with cookie dough. And I could do a waffle cone with mint chocolate chip. So then here are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 choices. Now notice that when I made this table, one was cones, one was flavors, because those are my two different events that I'm choosing from. I'm choosing my cone and I'm choosing my ice cream. So I made a T-chart for each one, and then I went through each possibility with them. Again, you can see where if I had a couple hundred options, that this would take forever to list out. Okay, let's going to move on to example 2. In example 2, we're doing something similar. We're going to do a table again, except we're going to do this one a little bit differently. Instead of making it like a T-chart, and this would only work with two options, I'm going to do kind of a vertical and a horizontal option. So I'm going to roll a number cube or die twice. Okay, so I'm going to list vertically what my first options are. If I roll my number cube, I could get a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. So I have 6 options. Okay, when I roll it the second time, so this is going to be my first roll. When I roll it my second time, my options are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So then what I'm going to do is create a little table here, and then in my table I can write my options. I could roll 1 and a 1, a 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 3, a 1 and a 4, a 1 and a 5, a 1 and a 6, and then I can just keep repeating this process until I get all my options. And as I'm going through here, you can see that I'm going to end up with a total of 36 options. This is why I use numbers to do this, because at least numbers I don't have to write out as much, and I can see my answers. Okay, and here would be all my options of what I can get when I roll. Now with dice, or number cubes, the reason we call them number cubes, guys, is because we want to know it has 6 sides. A cube has 6 sides, because it is possible for me to have dice that are not 6-sided. There are other dice out there. Okay, but this is super useful when we're doing a lot of probability. It's knowing all these options. Sometimes we want to know the sum. Sometimes we want to know a specific number, so doing that. But this table allows us to compare two things. So the first roll is on the left side, and on the top I had my second roll, and then I just fill in the boxes with my choices. That gives me all 36 possibilities of what I could get when I roll a number cube twice. This would also be the same thing if I rolled 2 number cubes, one number cube representing the first number, the second number cube representing the second number. Okay, and then for example 3, we're going to do a tree diagram. And a tree diagram is a great way when you have multiple options. So in this case, We're going to order 1 topping pizza. We have sizes, we have crust, and then we have toppings. So we have 3 things that we are trying to figure out all the options for. I really like the T-chart, or the tree diagram, because you don't have to write everything out as many times. So this is going to be a tree diagram, is what we're going to use here. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down my sizes. So we have small, medium, or large. So again, I'm just going to do S and L for small, medium, or large. Notice I spread them out because when I make my tree diagram, I'm going to need a lot of space. Okay, my second choice are my crusts. I have regular or butter, so I'm going to do R for regular, and I'm going to do B for butter. Now, I can make that after small. I can get a large, or medium, excuse me, or I can get a large with regular or butter crust. So those are my options for that. And then my toppings are sausage, S, pepperoni, P, or veggie, V. So then I can do 3 lines off of each one, because my first 2 choices are already set, and then I can make my diagram off here. And this is why I needed space, so that when I make all these lines, each column is getting a little bit more information. That gives me all of my options, so I can look at the last choices and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have 18 choices of pizza that we could get. Okay, and what are they? Well, I could get a small regular sausage pizza, small regular pepperoni, small regular veggie. I get small butter sausage, small butter pepperoni, small butter veggie. And you can continue through that. I'm not going to read them all, but that list is nice. Okay, and then you don't have to rewrite everything a lot like you did in the first example. Okay, I made my tree diagram going left to right. It is possible for me to set it up by moving down. So sometimes, just to give you an example of started, we could have our tree diagram move down instead of right to left. So you could go this way also with your choices. Okay, so sometimes you'll see them like that. Alright, if you need to watch anything again, go back and do that. Otherwise, have a great night.